let's try this one more time. Poppy was a little sloppy and something happened here, so I had to clean the check weights. So that's the backstory. Anyway, I cleaned my reloading bench and my desk, and I'm a little fatigued right now, but I thought I would check this scale because I also cleaned this. It had fuzz bunnies on it. I thoroughly cleaned it, and now I have to check and see if I molested it or if it's still good. So, you know, cleaning your beam scales, you can use alcohol, get your pivot points once you dust it off, your magnet, all these, everything, clean them really good. Try and be surgical about everything. And it seems to be, it looks like it's fine right now, but we're going to see because we're going to use check weights. So in the camera, this might look off, but it looks pretty darn dead on for me. So I'm looking at it like this way. Now I used to have this up at eye level, but it's such a pain pouring the powder up there and bringing it back. Your arm gets sore after a long time, and no. So I just put it here on the table and I bring it wherever I need it, whatever press, and then just make sure it's zeroed. You want level and everything. So what I did here was I have some really dense hard piece here, and I have this so it can't move. So what I did here was I put a steel insert pivot point for the pivot on the scale here, which is steel, so it fits inside each other and it works really well. And then here these little feet are curved, and I put two little curves in this, and if I move this around, it stays. It doesn't move, but you can lift it up if you want to. So that's what I did. Steel on steel here, and the feet are solid. All right, enough with that. So it's been a while since I used this because I got spoiled with this, okay? And I used to be one of those guys that said, oh, you got to have a beam scale if you're going to be accurate. Until I came across this, and they don't make this exact model anymore, but this is dead on with these weights, okay? It's always been good to me. I've had it for years. And when that goes out, I'm going to be pissed. Because these were under $20 and they were very accurate. So, and I compare the two and it tells me what's up. Now in this case, got some oil from, what happened was I started weighing here. And when I put the 20s together, one was high, and I think the 5 was high also, the 5 grain and the 20 grain. And what happened was you can't touch these because you don't want to get oil on them. They're very sensitive, okay? So you got to be surgical and you got to use tweezers. What I think happened was when I opened this capsule for the 1/10 of a grain ones, I got oil on the capsule and it rubbed on these, you know, from opening and shutting that. And so I clean them with alcohol, as you just saw. Now, I got these at a pawn shop, our favorite pawn shop, and this is made by Pacific. It's probably old school, and I shouldn't be touching this either, but I wanted to show you. And it comes with 2 20 grainers, 1/6, 1/5, 1/4, 1/3, 1/2, 1/1, and then a 1/2 grain, and then you get 4 that are 1/10 of a grain, and those are these little bastards here that are hard to pick up. So I really like this. It cost me $1 at the pawn shop. I just looked them up, and I think the Lymans are 36 on sale, normally 39 or something like that, and they don't even have 1/10 of a grain. They have some bars. They're just little bars. That's good enough, but I really like this old school set here, and the price was right. So My only complaint with these is they should have bent them so you can grab them easier, like this one and that one. They didn't bend the rest of them, so they're kind of hard to pick up. All right, but if you find them on eBay or something, grab them. They're super nice. They're accurate as long as you don't touch them. And clean them with alcohol. Okay, so now I have to check this scale. And let me move this out of the way. And it might look a little funny to you in the camera. And I have to look under the phone here because it's in the way. And that looks pretty darn good. So let's start with 5 grains. I'm really not interested in like 40, 220s. The thing you really want are these really light ones you don't get with your scale. Okay, so we'll check 5 grains. And I got this with my Dylan from my uncle, and I really like this scale. You can see how fast, okay, it stabilizes, and it's accurate. It's always been a really good scale. So if you find one of those cheap, grab it. They're great. The magnet, just boom. You're not waiting around, so perfect. Okay, and let's see, let's do 1 grain. Oops, wrong one. Sorry. I was thinking tenths right now. I got tenths on the brain because I know they're hard to pick up. What am I doing here? Idiot. Bear with me. I'm tired. I've been cleaning the reloading room all day. Alright, that's dead on. Okay, we'll put that back on 0. Or should we add? Let's add a number 2. So that should be 3 grains. Alright. Okay, that one looks just a hair under. I wonder why. No, that's pretty good. Looks just the slightest hairier of hairs. I don't know why. Okay. And I can check it. I can check it with this guy. And it will... Will I get through this video? That's just my cap to keep dust out of there. I don't know if I can get through this video. Alright, now what do we screw with next? Let's do a 10. Okay, and even with it wiggling, you can see how fast this settles. And that's dead on 10 grains. So if I'm loading 10 grains, I'm a happy camper. Alright. While we're at it, why are these things so expensive? I've already, when this handle can get weak, I've already got one without the handle anymore. It's a piece of stamped aluminum. Why? What makes these so expensive? I don't like plastic. I like these. They're slick. And someone should make those, and they'd make a killing, because every time I look for one, they're super expensive. And when this handle breaks, I'll be pissed. All right, so why do I ramble? That's the mystery of this world. All right, so, okay, let's do these little bastards. I got one on a patch so I can grab it easier. And I'll probably end up bending them and cleaning them again, so I got a lip to grab onto. That's 1/10 of a grain, which doesn't come in the Lyman. See how the needle just barely moved? And when your eyes start getting old, you're like, is that dead on or not? I got reading glasses on, and it's dead on. So let's do another one, 2/10 of a grain. This is when you want to, if you're doing something precision, you want your scale to register that, don't you? The little Wawoo does. And when that bastard goes, I'm going to be pissed. Okay, that's dead on. 2/10 of a grain. Should we keep going, or should we add... let's add a number 4 to it. 4 2/10. Anyway, you guys get the idea. I just want to go have dinner, but I thought I'd better do this so I don't forget. And that's dead on. How does it look in the camera? A little funky, a little different than what I'm seeing, but that's good enough. So again, I started doing this, and one of these 20s, well, we can do a 20. One of these 20s came out a little heavy, and I'm going to put lips on these, but I don't want to lose any material because they're very sensitive. You know, if I bend them, I could scratch and lose material. So one of these 20s came out funky. And why is that low? Oh, sorry. I forgot to readjust this one. I forgot to move the tenths. There we go, dead on. So I stacked two 20s together and got like a 20 or a 41 grain reading. Let's see if it's better now, because I cleaned them with alcohol just now, and I'm hoping it doesn't come out high. It's pretty close, but it is like the slightest, it's the slightest bit high. So this one, there's something going on with that weight. And I'm going to set that aside. And it's clean. So I'll set this one aside, and I'll just give it a little scratch with a super fine file or something and make that right. And I will show you. Let's change our camera angle. Anyway, the scale is fine, so that's good. After you mess around with them and cleaning, knock them around, you want to check. Okay, let's check the 20s on the Wawoo scale and see if one of them's off. There it is, 20.1. The Wawoo doesn't lie, just like the beam scale. Okay, let's check the other one, and guess what? I bet you right now, how much you want to put on it? 20, right on the money. Why did they stop making this scale? 18 bucks, whatever it was. Dead on, apply directly to the forehead. And I've tested, I've done this, what is this, a half? That's a 1 grainer. See how fast it responds and how accurate it is? Why don't they make this thing again? That's a 5. Bam. And it doesn't make you wait like a beam scale. Once this craps out, I'm going to be pissed. I should have bought 5 of them. What else? Here's a half. Here's a half. Well, I got it on the table. Good thing I cleaned the table. No grease. I washed the table. Half grain. How good is that? And that's what got me trusting electronic scale. Alright, I hope you found this interesting. But wait, there's more. We might as well nip this in the butt. So this is the one that was 20.1 grains, and I'm not sure if it was oil or what. I'm pretty sure I cleaned it. So what I'm going to do is take a small file and break the edge on the corner like this. I've already taken a few swipes, And it takes more than you think for 1/10 of a grain on this aluminum. And we'll make sure we're torn out here. And I got it to flicker. Sorry about the camera, I bumped into it. There we go. Just like that. Easy peasy. Now we're going to double check. And I'll degrease it. But I just broke the edge on this one. And it's still like flickering a little bit. Usually this scale will just go bam right to it. So I'm going to take another light swipe. And on this one I'll know it's the one I modified because it's got, there we go. It's got a beveled edge. Okay, so I used gloves and then I just took a swipe. And of course wipe it down with alcohol to double check. But now it's dead on. And that concludes our day. So, if you want something specific, get Pacific. If you can find it anymore. But that's something to look for on eBay or somewhere. Garage sale, whatever. I hope you found this interesting. And I'm glad I got everything tuned. And I'm ready to load because everything's clean. And that's a pain in the... Now until next time, thanks for watching.
Why did you put my head on the wall, Uncle Jim?
Hey, I'm sorry, Stitch. I thought it was a good time, good idea at the time. I'm sorry, buddy. But you look good there. You look good right there. All proud. I hope it didn't hurt. Oh well.
Happy Halloween!